a coin. Well, in fact, there's three heads and tails on the side. So let's see what this third side of the story is and see where we can find some common ground, some understanding. Before I get started, I want to convey a principle. I want to convey something that's extremely important. And that is the following idea. And it's this idea that there's so much enmity out there. There's so much lack of unity. And when you see how the world is really operating, you begin to understand that things can be a little bit, I don't know, how would I convey them? Divisive, right? And this comes from everybody, not just one side, not just the other side. And when you start looking at how the world works, you begin to realize that united we stand and divided is how they conquer us. So before we even begin talking about a whole lot of the situation with Tristan and Andrew, talking about the situation with their arrest, I want to convey this idea, and it's this idea that whether you're on this side, that side, X side, whatever, finding a common ground is important. And we can find common ground. I don't care what side you hold, there's a common ground, at least humanity, right? So we need to be able to be pragmatic in every situation, and that's the name of the game here. So I had Tate's camp, I was talking with them, and they're like, hey, there's this stuff out here, would you mind commenting about it? And I said, sure, why not? My intention was not to make a video on this, but here we are, because there's a lot of things that have been taking place over the last couple days that I think are important to address. And before we get started, I'll add a little clause, which is, I'm not an international lawyer. I have no understanding of international law, nor will I insinuate or lie to you guys assuming that I do, right? All I can do is look at the information that's out there and make a educated decision moving forward. Now, do I think somebody should go to jail when there's no cases filed, regardless of where you are in the world? I don't care if the law of this land trumps the law of this land, trumps the law of this land. One thing is legality, another thing is morality, right? So is it morally correct to lock somebody behind bars, guilty or innocent, with no case filed, little evidence submitted, and a whole lot of speculation, considering that the case was opened in April and we're in February, 10 months in, and there's a lot of crickets, right? And that's true. So we need to be able to understand that. There's a lot of crickets from the Romanian government. I'm not surprised that there's crickets from the US government, even though Tate is a US citizen. And had this been an unjust imprisonment and incarceration of another individual, we would have potentially gotten a resolution a lot quicker. So yeah, that's the introduction to everything. For those that don't know me, I'll give you guys a little bit of background. I've been in the digital entrepreneurship space for 6-7 years now, almost 7. And about 3 years ago, I encountered Andrew Tate's YouTube channel, right? This is pre-COVID, when he had about 80,000 people on Instagram, less than 100,000 subs or something around that area on YouTube. So I was familiar with his content before a lot of you guys were familiar with his content. I was familiar with his worldview, even though his worldview has changed, right? It's changed a lot in the last 12 months. I think Andrew has sobered up to a lot of things. His conversion to Islam has, I think, grounded him in certain ways. And I think that that's fair to say, right? When I first started communicating with Andrew, I think this was about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. We were doing some online work, and he needed some online work done, and we connected, and then, long story short, we started doing online business, right? No online business that related with agreements or partnerships, more so services rendered, right? Now, I see a lot of people, even on the business side, say that Tate is sketchy. So I'm going to talk about my business relationship with the Tate brothers, right? I don't know their relationship with other people. I just know mine, right? So we had no agreements. We had no paperwork, nothing. But every time an invoice was sent to them, and it was a multi-$1,000 invoice, 10,000, 20, 30,000 at a time. Somebody says camera looks blurry. You should probably just adjust your, people said services. Yeah, you have social media services, social media management service, things of this nature, right? Now, somebody said start recording. Good point. I'm gonna record this as well. So long story short, me and Andrew started connecting, and every time we did business, within 24 hours, he fulfilled every single one of his invoices, right? No agreements, no paperwork. He could have easily ghosted me. All this was happening online, and every time he paid and he delivered. So that is my business relationship with him. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about his business practices and things of this nature. I couldn't tell you. What I can tell you is my relationship with him. Now, I was hosting a Capital Club event in Albania last year, and I was talking with Tristan. I hit him up because he needed something done, and I was like, hey, I'm in Albania. I was like, hey, swing by Romania. So I swung by Romania. Now, when I swung by Romania, it was to hang out with the Tate brothers, hang out with a couple of the other guys that were there, and honestly, just it was nonchalant, have a good time. Now, what was my experience as one of the few people that actually was able to see the inside of a lot of these operations and be in their home, see them, right, how they operate when they're intoxicated, see how they operate when they're sober, see how they operate when there's a lot of girls around, see how they operate when there's no girls around. And I was able to get a clear perspective, hopefully, of their character, right? So what was my relationship with them? It was based off of business. Now, I went to Romania, had a great time, super hospitable people. Every time, and I was very observant, every time there was girls there, and there was a lot of girls all the time, right? And it was different chicks, and it was girls that would knock on the door and they would be let in. There was girls sometimes knocking on the door and they wouldn't be let in and they'd have a fit, right? But every time I saw the guys operating, it wasn't really focused on kind of the girls that were there. They were always focused on working, or they were on their phones talking with other people. And usually they spent their time in their offices or in their cigar room, while the girls kind of hung out outside and did their own thing. I never saw a girl forced to come. I saw every girl there wanting to be there. None of these chicks were like afraid or scared. And then we also went to dinner, right? We went to dinner a couple of times. Now, at the dinner table, you would assume a man sits next to his girls, but Andrew and his team, they were sitting on one side of the table. We were in the middle. And then the girls that were invited to this dinner sat on the other side. So these guys are working, they're doing their thing, and I'm there. And then Andrew's like, let the girls order whatever they want, right? So I was like, oh, cool. All right, so the girls get to order whatever they want. They spend a whole ton of money, and we end up in a situation where we have a good time, have a good dinner. Now, we also go to the club. The club, same thing. I see these guys operating extremely professionally, right? They're not out here groping and grinding on chicks. They're barely talking to chicks. All the chicks are drinking. They're being paid for. They're being taken care of. The shisha comes out. Me and Andrew sit down, have a little chat back and forth, sit down, converse with Luke. And then we just kind of hang out. So every time I saw them interact with the girls, it was always in a respectful fashion. It was always in a nice way. But at the same time, they were also flirtatious, right? So they're playful and things of this nature, but the girls were the same way in return. So that was my dynamic with them in person, you know? So that's the reality, that's the truth. Whether you choose to accept it or not is irrelevant to me. I honestly don't care. Now, people say, Luke, are you an Andrew Tate fan? Are you a Top G fan? Well, I want to be honest with you guys. I'm not a fan of any human being, right? I'm a fan of the real Top G, and that's the G-O-D. And I look at every person as a person that has good things, flaws, and things that we can learn from, and things that we don't want to learn from. And that goes for everybody. So when people are like, hey, Luke, are you a Andrew Tate fan? The answer is, I am a fan of no humans. So let that be of notice to you guys. Now, I hear people saying that my quality is low. I'm connected to the Ethernet. Don't know what to do for you guys. I'm also living on an island in the middle of the Caribbean, so we don't have the best fucking service here. But today I want to talk about a lot of things that have been popping up on my feed. If you guys have anything you want to send it to me on my Twitter DMs. I have a couple of things that I want to review regarding the leaks in the documents. And let's pull it up. Okay, so I have some videos that I want to talk about, and then I have some chat logs that I want to go through that I know a lot of you guys are interested in talking about. Now, I don't know whether these chat logs are legit, not legit, doctored, not doctored. I don't know. The information that you guys have is honestly very similar to the information that I have. And when I spoke to Andrew's camp, they said that the information that they have access to is very similar to the information that we have. Like, they are in the dark as well regarding a lot of things. They haven't gotten a lot of information, right? And that's to me ridiculous, right? Because when you're in a situation whereby you're incarcerated, whether legit or not legit, you end up being in a situation where there is a due process. And I understand that every country has a different due process, and that's completely okay. But to assume that you can just incarcerate a person because, one, you don't like their opinions, or two, you don't like their worldview, or three, you assume something, right? Or maybe you're completely correct, but there has been no verdict. There has been no judge that has said you are guilty of this crime. It is merely an assumption at this point, and there's evidence leading to the fact that they didn't sex traffic women. That is my opinion. Now, that is my opinion based off of the information that I've received online, which is the same information you guys have received, which is the same information Andrew Tate's camps has received. And my problem with a lot of the situation is that these dudes are in the dark and are not getting any word or resolution from the authorities, which is honestly super ridiculous. I think that there should be a due process if they are actually going to incriminate these guys instead of defaming their character and just letting this drag on. Now, if I had evidence, right? If I had evidence, remember guys, we're talking about Andrew Tate here. We're not talking about Jeffrey Epstein that has a fucking black book full of presidents, full of governors, full of bankers, like we just saw with JP Morgan's former CEO and the former CEO of Barclay, right? Bank. Andrew Tate doesn't have a black book full of all these people's names that could be in a situation that he's like immune, right? So it's a little bit of a different situation. And once you start understanding that Andrew's extremely different in person than he is online, and a lot of you guys don't know that because you see the online persona, you are in a situation that can be a little bit tough. So who is Andrew Tate in person based off of what I've perceived, right? The dynamic of the brothers is actually a little bit different in real life. Andrew's extremely introverted in real life and kind of stays to himself. And Tristan is the guy that is very charismatic, talks to people, hangs out. And it's cool because online it's completely different. So when I was like hanging out with Andrew in person, I'm like, oh shit, like this guy doesn't talk a whole lot. He keeps to himself. He's on his phone, kind of doing his own thing. I'm like, interesting. So when the camera goes on, the glasses go on, you also have to understand that these guys are entertainers, right? And everything that is put out there, there is a side that is designed for virality. There is a side that is designed for controversy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that is the entirety of the story. So before we go into, so I want to talk about a little bit about the things that I do enjoy regarding their content, and also things that I don't enjoy. Why do I want to mention these things? Well, I want to mention these things because I want you guys to understand that there's a big cultural war taking place right now, and I honestly find myself extremely neutral because I agree and disagree with a lot of the things that are taking place on both sides. Now, when I was sitting with Andrew and he was contemplating his conversion to Islam and talked about it briefly, I was like, bro, are you like not sick and tired of having like 40 chicks at your house all day long, having to like be talking to them all the time, having to be texting, having to maintain these relationships? Like, yeah, bro, I'm ready to settle down. This is getting out of hand. This is getting ridiculous. And he was also in the understanding that, you know what, like this is not an optimized way to live. I also disagree with their eating habits, the Chick-fil-A, the KFC and all that stuff. And I've conveyed that to them, right? So let's talk about that. So I don't necessarily agree with their views on women, one. I don't agree with having a whole plethora of chicks. It's not my cultural background and it's not my preference. Every girl that I saw them interact with was there by choice. And honestly, they were hanging out, working and pumping iron and fighting and jumping in the pool and eating chicken nuggets. Besides that, didn't see them interact any other way with chicks besides, hello, come in, treat yourself to the fridge, do whatever you want. Sit on the couch, watch the live streams. And it was very free. Like I was kind of concerned that it was so free. It was like super open, like everybody could kind of do their own thing. It was a very trusting environment. So when I see a lot of this stuff online is, oh, they were like enslaved. I was like, I saw a completely different thing from a person that has nothing to gain from Andrew Tate. Like Andrew Tate has nothing to pay me that I couldn't get from another client. Andrew Tate's arrest has no direct impact with the quality of my life. So when I mention these things, right, my ad revenue's turned off. I don't give a fuck about comments. I don't give a fuck about the views. I don't need any of this stuff, right? So please understand, guys, that when I'm talking to you guys, it comes from a place of attempted neutrality. And I understand that people have biases, but I want to set this as the ground, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people watching this video and I want to establish the ground rule in the environment on by which this canvas is going to be laid. So now that we have the frame of the picture and it's painted, let's get into the frame, let's get into the actual canvas and let's start painting the picture. So I'm going to talk about both sides, guys. I'm going to talk about both sides because I'm going to keep it clean. And I'm also going to, some people sent me some videos. So I'm going to be talking about these videos. Now, when I first talked to Andrew's team, they reached out, or I reached out to them. I asked them about these docs and they're like, yeah, bro, we just received this at the same time. And this was in private conversation, right? And these guys haven't lied to me so far, so I'm not going to assume that they've lied to me now, right? So when I hit them up, they didn't hit me up. I hit them up about this. They're like, yeah, bro, we just saw this today. Okay. So, oh shit. Yeah, this is what's going on. So I've seen a lot of shit going on that, oh, this is Andrew Tate's camp pushing this shit. In a private conversation, right? They told me otherwise. And this was prior to me even talking about the idea of the video, right? This was in private conversation, like, yeah, we just got this. So I want to give that information to you guys. Now, let me go ahead and screen share. We have a few articles or a few threads on Twitter that I want to go through. And then I want to convey them. Now, I'm going to talk about the guys that are for Tate, and then I'm going to talk about the guys that are against Tate. Let me screen share. Somebody said, Luke, you never answer questions. I'm sorry, guys. I want to get through this. I want to get through this and then we can take some questions. I don't have anything to answer, guys. Like, I want to just cover this and see what's going on. And hopefully we can have a clear perspective as to what is going on. So Suleiman Ahmed on Twitter. He is an investigative journalist, PhD. Pretty good resume. Muslim, okay. You guys can check out his page. He's also talking about Nord Stream, which is another big bullshit that's taking place. Okay, so we got an investigative journalist putting a piece, a thread. You can, let me move this real quick so that you guys can see his username, okay? So you guys can see his username. And we're gonna be covering it. If you guys are here for like a microwave 2-minute nonsensical TikTok type answer, please leave. Because this is more complicated than you guys think. There's a lot more moving pieces. And when you become understanding of this, you don't want microwave answers. Microwave answers provide microwave results and microwave perspectives. And I'm not here for microwaves. So if you're here for microwaves and your attention span is too low, keep moving along. All right, so Andrew Tate, frame job exposed. Verified messages have been leaked, and it clearly shows that the women planned to frame the Tates. They manipulated the Tates into believing they loved them and framed them into involving the embassy shortly after arriving. This case is over. So here we have the photo. Anyways, so here we go into portions of the tweet. But before I want to go into the portions of these tweets, I do know, let me go through the portions of these tweets, and then I know that there's another version that is kind of like the digital files. Now, I don't know if these are doctored or legit. I just have this information. So for the sake of the video, let's assume that everything that we're going to see is legitimate, okay? We're going to make our assumptions based off of this. So US woman arrives in Romania on 6th of April. They called US Embassy to frame the Tates. Her mom says, go to hell, Emma. Emma's this girl that's in the situation with Andrew and Tate. With your arrogance and ignorance and bullshit, go to Whoop Whoop Land or Bangkok or Bora Bora. Who is stopping you? Bangkok, Bora Bora, known to be cities where there's a lot of chicks that sell themselves. The whole American embassy is on alert because of you, okay? Now, we're gonna end up pulling up the entire thing, but I'm just reading this so that we get some perspectives that are out there from different individuals. Emma, that's your fault. So it was pre-planned and the aim was to take the Tate brothers out. So before the possibility of being trafficked, she'd already contacted the US Embassy and planned to move to London. Emma says her and Aliona have brainwashed Tristan and Andrew. They believe that they're in love with them. We have made the brothers believe we are in love. So it was the girls who used love to manipulate the Tates. They have complete autonomy. They could leave. They could come and go as they please. She said that she had the Tates believing they loved them and used them, blah, 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 blah. Okay, perfect. So you guys can pull this. I don't like that this is kind of like clipped a little bit and kind of gives us perspectives. So we're going to go into the straight here. All right. I'm going to read this entire thing, guys. I'll be honest. A lot of this information is new to me. I intentionally put it in a way where I could cover this live with you guys in an honest way. And let's get into it. Okay. So Aliona is this chick. Okay. And then we have the girl who's wreaking havoc, apparently. You're a good actress? Question mark, question mark. That's a weird way to start a conversation. I don't know about you guys, but when something bad happens in my life and I'm about to dip or I'm about to like solve the problem, I don't ask my people whether I'm acting or not. Okay. Weird. I practiced, okay, this idea that she conducted prior, training to get good at whatever she was going to do. I'm assuming fooling Andrew and Tristan. Just play cool, got it. Like you don't know anything. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears out. So this means that you're forcing your ability to cry because you can't cry naturally in this scenario because you have nothing to cry about, I'm assuming. Or because if you had something to cry about, I assume you'd cry. She just question marks and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, babe. All right, so playing dumb. We are so good, though. We need a fucking Oscar. What is an Oscar, guys? Isn't an Oscar like what you give? Here's my issue with this conversation is it doesn't feel like desperate people. Desperate people have conversations in private in a desperate way, not in a victorious way. Right? Like it's just weird. It's just really odd. So we're good though. We need a fucking Oscar. So you guys are gonna win Actresses of the Year in essence. Let's go. Now I saw another individual talk about the idea that these question marks aren't actually question marks, but periods. If somebody can confirm that for me, it would be good. But right now, it's not looking very good for these ladies. We are so good, though. We need an Oscar. Let's go. Let's just go play it cool and change my name. So it will not start with A, her real name, right? LOL, got it. Yeah, I told you to be like saying a nice message and that we are hurt or shit like that. And that we do love them, but just don't like the situation. I don't understand. There might be some more context as to what this exact situation is, right? Because they're not talking about situation in a general broad scenario. It's a specific situation. Don't know which one it is. So they will not think we are really against them, you know? So this is a question mark. So I'm going to assume that everything else in the chat is a question mark unless I look at something else. So under that assumption, I'm going to operate. If I'm wrong, excuse me. Yeah, I told you to be like saying nice things, whatever, whatever. Yeah, smart. Play the victim. I mean, play. Play is an interesting word. Play is an interesting word. Play the victim is an interesting word. Play. Play the victim. I mean, we are, but like act like we are still in love with them and stuff. So play the victim, assume that, you know, act that we're the victim, even though she says that we are. Then there's an all caps of ha 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 ha. And then there is a I mean we are question mark. I mean, is that a question, guys? And the reason I'm going to assume that this question mark is actually correct is for this reason, is because there's a period right here, right? Versus a question mark. So I'm going to assume that the chat log translation from digital to paper is correct. Now I've heard people say that it's not, but the people that I've heard that it's not are the people that don't really like Andrew, okay? So we have to take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, so we are. Usually somebody, when they ask a question regarding the current situation, it means they don't believe it. Wait, what? And then the conversation stops right there. And then this, the bottom part, is after the first raid. Tomorrow we should wear makeup and sunglasses so nobody really notices that what we look like or who you are. Yeah, I guess. LOL. LOL. Laugh out loud. We are writing a movie ASAP. Yup. Interesting. So it doesn't sound like a conversation of people that are desperate to get out. It just doesn't, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just looking at it differently. Now, second one. Spy News, guys. This is, by the way, I'm assuming is a Romanian organization that leaked these documents. Now, this is the second part. Emma Gabby talking to her family. So this is the girl, and she's having a conversation with her family. Now, I know that this isn't the entirety of the conversation, and I am going to pull the rest of the conversation later, but I want to talk about this. I know you don't believe I can handle this, but I can. I'm not so concerned. Tristan doesn't. Okay, so for whoever said that the periods were wrong, I believe you've made a mistake. I think these turned into periods. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's turning into periods. Okay, just an observation. My main concerns are coming from the things other girls are saying. Keyword saying, not showing, not proving, saying. And clearly, there's a lot of bullshit being said. So can we believe what some girls are saying? What is some girls? Is some girls one girl? Is some girls two girls? What is it? I don't know. But anyways, okay, continue. But I can. I'm not so concerned. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave. Tristan doesn't care if I leave. So the witnesses here aren't concerned. Concern. Please, we need to be using the words by what they mean. What does it mean to be a concerned individual? To be worried, She is not worried. She is not worried whether she can leave or stay because Tristan doesn't care. Now, usually, if these gentlemen, Andrew and Tristan, perceived these girls as merchandise or product or a vehicle for profit, and they were extremely profitable, I'm assuming that they would care whether this girl leaves or stays because it would affect their operation. To me, it was, I'm assuming this is a webcam business and the OnlyFans. When I spoke to Tristan in Romania, I sat down with him by the pool and we were just talking, and I was asking him about kind of like how they started in the digital space and things of this nature. And then the cam girl business and the OnlyFans business conversation entered, and I asked him, like, are you actively in this? And he said, I'm not actively doing this. It's not what we're focused on right now. We're focused on our other products, like the Hustlers University and their war room and scaling their operations. And he said, we're actively not doing this. So I'm conveying this to you guys because I've also heard people say, oh, they're still conducting their webcam services and OnlyFans services, when in private, I was told otherwise, right? So I have no reason to lie to you guys. Like I said, the state of Andrew and Tristan have no bearing or impact on the quality of my life. So I'm going to speak to you guys in an extremely honest way. Okay, so continue. We're going to disregard this part because it's just about, oh, never mind. Let's not ignore it. For sure, we have to. I'm assuming this is regarding the movie. Oops, let me pull this up right here. I missed this part right here. Sorry, guys. So this is the remainder of the conversation from the last page. For sure, this is regarding we have to write a movie. We have to. I'm dying inside. In what context do you say I'm dying inside? You say it in the context of you are laughing, right? Like you say, I'm dying inside. That's the context that you use. I'm dying inside. Let's email Netflix. So why didn't you email the police? Why didn't you email the Interpol? Why didn't you email your local authorities, but you wanted to email Netflix? So if your life is in danger and you are a victim, why is your first, I'm just asking questions here. Why is your first idea to go get a movie deal or a documentary deal with Netflix? And she says ASAP, Hulu, Amazon Prime. So they're here like, let's capitalize on this opportunity. That's what it looks like right there, okay? Okay, I missed this part. Look, I know you don't really believe I can handle this, but I can. I'm not so concerned. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave. Going because we've made the brothers believe we are in love. They think we will run back. Okay, so they say that they don't care because we've made the brothers believe that we're in love. They think we will run back. So she's not concerned because she believes that the brothers are in love, which is obvious that if you understand Andrew and Tristan, it's like, I don't know, it's weird. They think we will run back to what? To them, to the business. So they're it's weird, right? It's like, these guys love us, therefore we're able to do whatever we want. But they're still sex traffickers and we're not free. It's just weird. It doesn't add up. Main concerns are coming from things the other girls are saying. We don't know what the other girls are saying. It's a lot to explain. But we will be out of here fine. I don't think they care much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. That's a big statement, right? Saying, I don't think they care. Because there may be other shit out there, but this is a statement that's extremely important. The statement says, I do not care much. I don't think they care that much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, knowing how these guys work, they honestly wouldn't care if she dipped. I will make the call and do the right thing in this situation. So this is the parents conversing with the daughter. Now this, I'm assuming, is either an audio or something like that based off of the .opus. Can't listen to voice messages. Why have all the American embassies on alert? Why have all the American embassies on alert? You're causing a major upheaval because the Marines and all the American squad is on the go now. Fuck it, Emma. Fuck it. Okay. You called. I didn't. Mom, I want to leave to London. You called. That's on you. Tell them to come Tuesday. Then they can see everything. Look, if you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. So this chick is basically telling her parents if she doesn't get to London, she's gonna disappear. I don't know who this girl is, kind of what her background is, but she clearly has a relationship with her parents, and her mom isn't really happy with her. Okay, so now we covered all of this part. They can see everything. Look, if you stop, blah, blah, blah. I want to go to London. How dare you put me in anger like that? You called, not me. Go to hell, Emma, with your arrogance and bullshit. Go to Whoop Whoop Land in Bora Bora. Who's stopping you? The whole American embassy's on alert. Shame on you. That's your fault. Thanks. That's the extent of the conversation here. Now, by this alone, all right, these chicks aren't looking very good. They're not looking very good. Now, somebody sent me the video of a lawyer, and I want to react. Should I react to the video of the lawyer, ladies and gentlemen? Give me a 1 in the chat. There's this lawyer on YouTube. I just put Andrew Tate leaks here, by the way, and somebody sent me this video of this lawyer. I haven't yet watched it, but I'm gonna react to it right now. I've never seen this guy, so we'll react to it. Then we have this other video as well. I'm not sure who this guy is as well, but somebody sent me this this lawyer who apparently has been covering Andrew's case quite a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this video, and I'm going to be unbiased. The first thing to mention is that the guy is driving an i8, which is a pussy car. I know, that's a joke. Sorry, lawyer. It's a pussy car. Sorry. It's a brokey car. Honestly, it's a brokey car. Driving an i8 is a brokey car. So, no offense, Bruce. Let's get to it. All right. Here we got Bruce.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board certified criminal defense lawyer. We are reacting to the gift that keeps on giving, Andrew Tate. We've come into a lot of these messages who are actually the full transcript and not just an excerpt.
Oh.
A lot of these messages.
So there's apparently something else. There's a completely different message. He published this 19 hours ago. Let's go to his YouTube channel. Okay. So this is the first one. This is a wiretap.
And analyzing about, I've been doing this for 25 years.
Okay.
Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board certified criminal defense lawyer. Today we are reacting to the news that some leaked. They call them white.
Is the audio low, guys? Is the audio low? Is it proper? Hang on, let me fix this shit. I think this is the best. I think this is the best it'll get. It's kind of low in the video itself as well. Is it quiet now? Is it low? 1 2 3 1 2 3. Anthony, real quick, how do I adjust this so that we can continue properly? Oh, and somebody said question marks or emojis potentially. So they're not necessarily question marks. They may be emojis for the stuff in the comments. You can drag the OBS slider to increase desktop audio. It's increased pretty high. My team is telling me that it's fine now. All right.
Two of the accusers are manufacturing evidence against Andrew Tate, trying to set him up. We're going to analyze that a little bit and analyze it the way I would analyze any kind of evidence in any kind of criminal case. And with a board certification, guess what you get? An expert analysis. That's
An expert opinion.
that I'm all that great, but I do work hard.
But it's, once again, it's an opinion. So this guy has experience dealing with a lot of these cases, apparently, and he's board certified. So he's gone through an accreditation process.
I know what the hell I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 25 years. So I'm coming to you with my pearl handle pistol cufflinks, gifted to me by our content genius, Michael Rivers.
Let's put this out
to thank.
a little bit faster.
And Jay Lapp, thank you for the intro. And Percy Mack, thank you for the outro. Before we get to that, this episode, like all of our episodes, is brought to you by esign.com. You have to do something where you have a agreement. It has to have foundation. That's what we call it. And we're going to put these documents up, and I'm going to go through them a little bit and tell you what I noticed off the bat. First, this is not, this is a cut and paste job. This is, I mean, you can see.
It is a cut and paste job.
It's edited, so like I'm looking at one, it says Emma.
But it's a cut and paste job of the same page, Bruce. Come on, Bruce. Don't start this way. It says fuck it right here, and it's cut and paste from the same sentence, Bruce. Come on, Bruce. Just because you're board certified.
Emma Gabby talking to her family. And then you look at every single one of these messages, and what this looks like are, they look like text messages from WhatsApp. And
that's correct.
Every single one of them had the exact same time, 10:42 and 29 seconds. That's concerning.
Not concerning at all. Because then you look at the top of the first page before, it could have been a glitch.
You've got certain things that are what they are. So right off the bat, you can tell these documents are not in their native format, right? So they've been altered. So that's one issue with them. And let me tell you something. If any of these documents were like this, that inculpated Andrew Tate, in other words, led to his guilt, or they were using, all you guys who are, eating Cheetos in your mother's basement would say, oh, no way, man, it's a setup, you can't use that because it's not reliable and whatever.
What do you mean eating Cheetos in your basement? Are Andrew Tate fans, is that what you're insinuating, Bruce? That Andrew Tate fans are Cheeto eating individuals? Because I could debate the opposite. In their mom's basement. I could debate that a lot of Andrew Tate fans are wealthier than you.
Would say, oh, no way, man, it's a setup, you can't use that.
It looks like a setup, Bruce. Whether you can use it or not, it looks like a setup. It's been 10 months, bro.
Because it's not reliable and whatever. But let's just, for the sake of this exercise, these are legitimate.
Let's say that they're legitimate.
Maybe they are. I don't know if they are or not. But let's go through them. Look, I know you don't believe I can handle this, but I can. I'm not so concerned. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave going because we made the brothers believe we are in love. I think we will run back. And the main concerns are coming from the girls are saying, a lot to explain. We'll be out of here fine. I don't care that much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. Now, if you remember in one of my prior episodes, I said if you're going to defend this case, one of the first things you have to do.
So I'm assuming he's going to say that so I'm assuming he's covered this before. He said he's done prior videos. Now, in legal cases, the first thing you need to do, or the easiest job, is to disprove the credibility of the people that are against you. That is kind of like the first scenario. Let's see what it says.
Do is shed doubt on the credibility of the witnesses who are the accusers, right? And that's exactly what this is designed to do. So,
well, it's not designed to do that, right? It's not designed. Design is an interesting word that you use because design means intent or formation prior. This is clearly just a chat log. So you saying that it's designed is pushing it a little bit. Because it's a conversation they had, so it's not designed. It's just there.
Trafficking case.
So these girls, like you have in your little hat that says stop self-snitching, this isn't designed to do that. These girls are just having a conversation.
Is some kind of force, fraud, or coercion. And if you force somebody to stay with you, that's the part of the kidnapping, part of the the coercion that goes on. But none of this sheds any light on the fact that he's
coercion. What?
And if you force somebody to stay with you.
But the girls literally said that they're not forced.
You know, that's the part of the kidnapping part of the.
So like, I know we have a lot of perspectives of a lot of YouTubers and a lot of stuff, but I honestly don't care about the opinion of motherfuckers that have no context whatsoever, right? So I'm listening to this guy because I'm assuming he's the most educated person regarding the topic of legality.
The coercion that goes on. But none of this sheds any light on the fact that he's scamming them out of at least 20% of their revenue, right? And that's the fraud part. So I will make the call. And
it's funny that he's bringing in something else to the conversation that has nothing to do with the conversation. I'm not sure why you're bringing it to light, Bruce, because it's completely irrelevant.
None of this sheds any light on the fact that he's.
Of course it doesn't shed any light, Bruce. It has nothing to do with the conversation. It's not the point. The point here is that these chicks, it appears to be that they're playing victim. That's what it appears to be based off of what they said. They said, are you a good actress? Can you play this part? I'm gonna shed some tears. That's what actresses and actors do. I'm just assuming, right? I don't know these chicks. I don't know their personalities. I don't know their backgrounds. I don't know them. I don't know what they look like, nor do I care.
Scamming them out of at least 20% of their revenue, right? And that's the fraud part. So I will make the call and do the right thing in the situation. Right now, we both want to be in London. So they're both talking about wanting to be somewhere else.
Right. They're talking about they want to be somewhere else and that they're not concerned whether they're allowed to go or not because Tristan and Andrew won't care. Well, they didn't say Andrew. Tristan won't care. And I'm assuming in this situation, Tristan was interacting more with this girl than Andrew, right? That's just my assumption. See if that can be proved correct, since she mentioned Tristan. So it has nothing to do with taxes or whatever it is or anything.
I don't think they care if we leave, but we want to run back.
No. You see, that's what lawyers do, bro. Lawyers change words. They never said run back, right? They never said, I want to run to London. No, they said, I want to go back to London. Like I would say, I want to go to Madrid and spend a weekend there. They didn't say, oh, we want to run away. So Bruce, I know lawyers tend to do this. They tend to doctor words and re-engineer words to make their case valid. But you can't do that with me, brother Bruce.
Right now, we both want to be in London. So
want to.
They're both talking about wanting to be somewhere else. I don't think they care if we leave, but we want to run back.
She didn't. They never said we want to run back. You just added those words in there, Bruce. Low IQ play.
So she's having trouble. Listen to the voice message. Why?
She didn't say she's having trouble. You're assuming that she's having trouble. I see it as the fact that she has the ability to do whatever she wants.
Of all the American embassies are on alert. You are causing major upheaval because the Marines and all the American squad is on the go now. Fuck it, Emma. Fuck it. Whatever that means. You called. I didn't. I want to leave.
I'll tell you what it means, Bruce. It means that they alerted the U.S. embassies and they're a little bit upset. Fuck it, fuck it. Like, it's not a good situation to be in.
I want to leave to London. You called. That's on you. Tell them to come Tuesday when we leave. And then they can see everything. If you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. I want to go to London.
So who's stopping who from going to London? Bruce? Is it Emma's family? Or is it Tristan Tate? Based off of this, it says, if you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. She didn't say this to Tristan. She said this to her family. So who's the captor here? I don't know.
You put me in danger like that. You called, not me. Go to hell, Emma. With your arrogance and your ignorance and bullshit, go Wop Wop Land or Bangkok or Bora Bora. Who is stopping you? The whole American embassy is on alert. Shame on you. That's your fault. You know, so there's really nothing in this on this page.
Nothing? What do you mean nothing, Bruce? Do we need to pull up the page again? What do you mean there's nothing, Bruce? Bruce, what do you mean there's nothing? You can't just dismiss the page and say there's nothing when it's full of words. It's not full of nothing. It's not full of nothing. Somebody said, funny how you don't react to the full chat logs. Not sure what the full chat logs are. We're watching this video and then we're watching the updated video which was posted 19 hours ago. So we're watching everything, ladies and gentlemen.
Page of text, except for the fact you got them saying that we think we can leave. I want to go to London, and so now let's go on to the second page.
Which is a lot. It's not a small thing.
Now these are all back in like April of 2022. These are not recent. You're a good actress.
That's correct.
True. I practice. Perfecto. Oh, what? Just playing it cool. Got it. Like you don't know anything. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears out, Aliona, and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, babe. So you got them kind of rehearsing or whatever. We are.
You got them rehearsing or whatever. Just dismiss that. We got them rehearsing or whatever. No, dude. Like, you just bypassed the point where they ask, are you a good actress? I practiced, I'm going to shed some tears. You can't just say whatever, Bruce. It's not whatever, dude. Not whatever. There's 2 dudes in prison. It's not fucking whatever, bro. Whether fair or unfair.
They're good, though.
It's not
we need
whatever.
A fucking Oscar. Let's go. Let's just go play it cool and change my name. So it will not start with LOL. Got it.
A little biased.
I told you to be like saying a nice message and that we are hurt or shit and that we do love them but just don't like the situation. So they will not think they are really against them, You know what victims of sexual assault or domestic assault or victims of this kind of stuff do? They assimilate.
They act. What you've just done is put a blanket statement, right? You've made a blanket statement. You said, you know what happens to sexual assault victims or people that have been trafficked is they assimilate, they fake it, they act all the time. You made a blanket statement and assume that these girls fit into that category, when in fact, they're saying, I'm gonna pull some tears. If you're in a terrible situation, would you have to pull some tears? I don't know.
So they will not think they are really against them, You know what victims of sexual assault or domestic assault or victims of this kind of stuff do? They assimilate.
Victims of what kind of stuff? You basically said, you just compared rapists, people that are affected in different situations to this and put it all in one thing. I don't know. Weird.
And they do whatever they have to appease their captors.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He said captors. How are they captors if they are allowed to leave? If they can leave freely, how? It makes no sense. How are they captors?
For lack of a better word. So they will not really think we are against them. Captors, for lack of a better word.
Captors, for lack of better word. Maybe you could have said their names instead of assuming, right? But you're already making assumptions. Come on. Bruce, I like you, Bruce, but so far, 7 minutes in, I would not hire you to do my work.
So they will not really think we are against them. Why would they be against them? What's in it for them to be against them? Freedom? Yeah, that's smart.
What's in it for them? Freedom? When the chicks literally just said, it doesn't matter to us. We're not super concerned because we can dip. So maybe the freedom isn't exactly it. Not a good deduction there, Bruce.
Play the victim. I mean, we are, but act like we still love them and stuff. So play the victim. I mean, we are, but act like we still love them and stuff. So in other words, play along so they don't know exactly what we're doing. Haha. I mean, we are.
We already talked about that.
What? Tomorrow we should wear makeup and sunglasses and nobody really notices what we look like or who we are. Yeah, I guess. LOL. We are right.
So basically go undercover right before the sting operation so that when shit goes down, they can't identify us. Why? Why do you not want to be identified? It's an interesting question. I don't have the answer why. I'm just making the question.
Movie ASAP. Yep. So when I talked initially about this, I said the only way to really defend this is to essentially destroy the credibility of the accusers, right? And that's what this is designed to do. But what does this shed light on? Nothing. Nothing.
I mean, it does a little bit. That they're actually acting, in my opinion, based off of how I read it as of now. Maybe my opinion changes, but as of now, it's a little odd.
I mean, first of all, without some verification, this doesn't come into court. You have to have foundation to get it. But even if it does get in, the women would have to testify, and then they'd be able to put all these things into context. And what I see here, just my trained eye, is I see people who don't have the means to get where they need to go.
Disagreed. These girls are making money and they can leave. I can guarantee you that they have money, bro. I guarantee it to you, bro. There's no chance. There's no chance you have an OnlyFans account and you don't have money. I don't care if you're giving 80% of your money away to somebody else. You're still making money. Especially to buy a flight from Romania to London, which is like fucking €100.
And doing whatever they can to try to escape.
Whatever they can to try to escape. They could literally just leave. It says it that they can literally just leave. As of now, not great, Bruce.
Tate has he's on a public relations media blitz. So you remember he had the human rights lawyer, all over the different programs. He's now said he's going to start a charity with $100 million dedicated to those who are falsely accused. Well, let me just tell you something. I'll stand in line for that $100 million, and I will be the first person to represent anybody that's falsely accused.
All right, perfect. So if you'll do that, Bruce, I will talk to Andrew's camp, and you can go represent Andrew and Tate. Will buy you a first-class ticket to Romania. Since you want a part of that $100 million, I haven't seen that tweet, but I'm sure they'll give you a cut if you represent them fairly. So if you're interested to this little comment that you made, I will take you up on this comment. I'll fund your first 100 hours of work, and I'll fly you out first class to Romania to cover and work with these guys.
$100 million dedicated to those who are falsely accused. Well, let me just tell you something. I'll stand in line for that $100 million, and I will be the first person to represent anybody that's falsely accused.
Will you? Will you? I'll pay. I'll pay to see it, bro. I'll drop 50 racks to see this, bro. It'd be a comedy. It'd be a comedy. It'd be fun.
So, Andrew, let's get the legal defense fund set up.
Andrew, let's get the legal fund set up, brother. Let's get Bruce on a first class ticket instantly, right away, to Bucharest, and have him start working since he is board certified. You don't want anybody else working for you. So here we have Brother Bruce saying that he's willing to help you guys out. Very kind of you, Bruce.
Because I'll be happy to do that, and I'll go anywhere in the world to do that.
Let's start with Romania. If you're going to go anywhere, let's start with Bucharest.
Because I love defending people who are actually wrongfully accused. But the one thing that this doesn't do is sheds no light on the self-snitching bullshit that he's talked about in the videos that we posted before.
But we're talking about this scenario. We're talking about... Sorry, let me change this face of Bruce. Doesn't do him justice. I'll show you. There, that's normal. I don't like shitting on people, so give him a good pause face. But it does shed light. It sheds light on the fact that they were able to leave at any point if they wanted to, as of now. 1, 2, that Tristan doesn't really care. Doesn't really mention Andrew. 3 is the fact that I'm most certain that they have €100 to buy a ticket, and they can actually do it.
He had his operation.
Okay, so he's talking about other things, not about the false allegations, which is what we're talking about now. So we're not talking about whether Andrew takes his $3 million that he makes at Hustlers University and it's, I don't know, let's say it's in a X company in this country and moves the money to another country and plays finesse. That's not what we're talking about here. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the WhatsApp leaks that are not, I don't know why they use the word wiretap, because it's not a wiretap. It's just a conversation that's been introduced.
Some bullshit that he's talked about in the videos that we posted before. And so what he has already said in his videos, how he had his operation, to be sex trafficking doesn't mean that they have to be in dungeons and chains.
Epstein would disagree.
You can restrict somebody of their movement with psychological torture.
How are you? But this is so. It's like really famousy because it's like, how do you prove that? Like, how do you prove emotional and psychological blockading of a person's ability to do something?
You can keep somebody there with financial pressure.
They did not have financial pressure, brother.
I'll give you an example.
Watch him give an example of a super extreme case or something like super insane. I just know he's about to like blow it out of proportion.
I tried a case a while back, and the only issue was forced product coercion. These women were coming over to the United States from Thailand.
I told you, bro. I told you it was about to make it completely different.
They were making a lot of money, but they had a dowry they had to pay. So they're traffickers.
So they were indebted. They were indebted for the initial bill that they had to pay.
Thailand, they got fake IDs, they got fake passports, and they came over here, but they owed them like 60 or 80 grand a piece. And
so the girls owed these pimps 60 to 80 grand a piece.
And they couldn't move on to go do what they were doing freely as prostitutes until that 80 grand was paid off.
That's not the case here. Nobody's talking about money being owed. Nobody's talking about money being withheld for them in order to dip.
Okay? That is a form of coercion. When you have these women who are being defrauded out of 20% of their revenues, telling them it would be this, but I'm paying taxes, and he's not paying taxes.
Pause. Pause. Let me tell you how companies work sometimes. Not every company. But here's the thing. Whether Andrew pays taxes today or in 4 years when the tax guy comes knocking at his door, the tax will have to most likely be paid. Specifically if it's going through centralized platforms like OnlyFans. And the reason I know this is because I was at the Four Seasons in Miami a couple months ago, and I ran across a gentleman who owned one of the biggest OnlyFans agencies in the world. One. And then following right behind him was the owner of OnlyFans. And these guys report everything. Every dollar, every ID, every girl that goes on their platform, because they're under such pressure from international jurisdictions regarding this big idea of, dealing with the adult industry. So I can tell you, Bruce, by talking to the owner of OnlyFans and the guy that owned one of the biggest agencies with over 250 girls on OnlyFans, that everything is reported. Everything is reported. So whether he pays it today or tomorrow, the organization has the revenue numbers and the expenditure numbers, and then there's a revenue that has to be accounted for, whether today or in 5 years. But it's very hard to famoose with these adult platforms. So I'm conveying that to you, Bruce, because that is the truth. So this money has a paper trail.
That's fraud. If they believe he's paying taxes on their behalf and that's where that money's going, that is fraud, and for a sexual purpose. So you don't have to just be in a dungeon, and with whips and chains. It doesn't work like that. That's not how sex trafficking works today.
Well, it is how sex trafficking works today, brother Bruce.
He's on his public relations blitz, and he just put out this tweet. I think this is just priceless. There are two possible futures to the universe. One, they kill me. Two, I emerge as one of the most respected and influential men on the planet, galvanized by false persecution. I ask my enemies to make a choice. I will stay awake tonight, prepared for mortal combat.
So I'm guessing he's reading one of Andrew's tweets.
That's a little dramatic, don't you think?
It is a little bit dramatic. Like everything else this man says is dramatic. You can't just say one thing is dramatic and then say the other thing is not dramatic and completely pragmatic and logical, right? It doesn't make sense. But I'll give it to you. Why not?
That's a little dramatic, don't you think? Mortal.
He hasn't. Whatever. I'm assuming that's a tweet or a quote or a saying from Andrew, but it is the truth. This dude is either going to end up really, really bad, or he's going to end up really, really good. Tate is an extremes kind of guy, so it'll be one of the two extremes.
Combat for what?
For survival. What? For survival, brother.
Not paying your taxes?
No. For being in jail, right? For being in jail for almost 60 days. For almost 60 days. And they've yet to hear a peep. So I'm assuming that this is basically like, let's get this over with, right? That's what it feels like. So come get me. Let's get this over with, or let me free. That's, I'm assuming, what he's conveying.
This does nothing. This doesn't prove a damn
Okay, it doesn't, maybe to you not, but to me, when I see that right now, it doesn't look great for the girls.
thing. All it proves, and in fact, it actually, some of it supports the fact that they're trying to leave, that they don't have the means.
She never said that, they never said that they don't have the means, Bruce. You made that up. 1. 2, I can put money on the fact that they most likely, if not yes, have money. What, they couldn't ask them, they couldn't ask the parents to buy them a ticket, a flight? Is that not a possibility, Bruce? That's a possibility.
That they're going to get hemmed up at an embassy because it's on alert for them.
Didn't say that.
That they are victims.
Is it question marks? I don't know, because somebody said it was emojis, so we'll see.
And then what are they doing? They are assimilating.
Acting. They did not use the word assimilate. They used the word act. Are you a good actress? Have you been practicing?
They're trying to make their captors.
They can't be captors, Bruce, if they can willingly leave.
Believe that they are in love with them, and they're going along to get along. You know, so it's also been said that the authorities have this information and they're not giving it to the court. Well, clearly the Tate brothers have it. Their defense team has it. They haven't shown it to the court until now.
And I'll tell you why. Because as per the conversation that I had with this other guy, with one of the guys from Andrew's team, is that they received the information in real time when it got published. So I can tell you based off a private conversation that the reality of the situation is that these guys are in the dark just as much as you and I.
But there's another duty that prosecutors have. It's called Maryland. They have a duty to disclose material that is favorable to the defense. So if these are in fact exculpatory, and my guess is that there's a ton more of these.
Yeah, of course. You have 8 months of this shit. You probably have years to dox.
And when I say exculpatory, that's evidence that's favorable to the defense.
Correct.
Inculpatory means make you find guilty. Exculpatory the other way around.
Culpate, guilt.
If they aren't turning over, that's problematic for the defense because you're not getting the full picture. The judge is not getting the full picture, especially when he talks about detention. So my hope is that very soon we get a charging decision by the prosecutorial body in Romania.
That's the thing here, right? We are looking for an answer. I agree with you here, Bruce. We are looking for an answer.
Because to be sitting there without charges is, I think it is a violation of human rights.
And that's the point that I want to nail in this first video, is that it's a violation of human rights to put somebody behind bars with no trial, regardless of whether Romanian law says that you can go to jail for investigation purposes for 180 days. 6 months, 180 days. I agree. This is a violation. And would it have been anybody else? Potentially this situation would have been treated differently. I agree with you here, Bruce.
Because, you know, we don't buy that in our country. I mean,
yeah, fuck that shit, bro. This idea of being behind bars. Look at fucking Sam Bankman-Fried. The dude's chilling in his house in California after committing one of the biggest financial crimes in human history. And this guy wants to talk to me about Andrew's $2-3 million tax bill, $4 million tax bill, $5 million tax bill, financial crimes. Brother, you know the financial crimes out there. Andrew Tate's financial crimes, I can promise you, it ain't that much, bro. It is not that much. It's over-exaggerated.
To be sitting there without charges is, I think it is a violation of human rights.
I agree with you. W. Bruce for that one, guys.
We don't buy that in our country. I mean, we don't have preventative detention in the United States.
Preventative detention. The word detention, as if like you're being held. Fucking, you're in jail for 6 months, bro. It's not a light thing. It's a big deal.
And I know there are some countries that do, like France, but I think it's absolutely wrong to have an investigative detention because you're sitting there, you can't defend yourself, you don't know what's going on, and they don't have to share anything with you while this is pending. So
that's the big problem here.
Reaction to the wiretaps, which they're not wiretaps.
Somebody said, did Luke just admit Andrew did financial crime? No, I did. What I said is the tax bill of an individual, because remember, here he's being presented as an individual that has committed fraud, okay, that has laundered money, and that has trafficked people. And there's a case for rape as well. These are serious allegations. And I would assume if these allegations are presented months and months and months ago, that there would be concrete evidence to lock these guys up if they were, in fact, human traffickers, and not have to wait 60 days rotting in jail. Very interesting.
But it'll be interesting to find out exactly where these came from and how they were created, because these are not in their native format. So Andrew Tate, as I predicted, is attacking the credibility of the accusers in this case, which is...
Andrew Tate is not attacking the credibility of the accusers, because when I spoke to Andrew Tate's camp, they were informed of this information in real time, just as I was. So, thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you coming on. Let's go back to my main screen and keep plowing through. Hopefully this is of value to you guys and that we're getting something together. Now, I want to go to the next video. Actually, should we review Bruce's second video? Let's review the other video, because apparently
have any interruptions in your...
Apparently there's another video that I just got told it's the new video.
And it's totally opposite of what nice message that we are...
Let me screen share.
Let's talk about the messages that these girls... We'll scroll some of these up so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. If we make them believe we're in love, they will not either suspect us of leaving...
Okay, let's read this. If we make them believe we are in love, they will not suspect us of leaving whatsoever. Or if they find out we do, they eventually will. They won't chase. Why wouldn't they chase? Interesting.
Whatsoever. So the first thing is they're going to deceive them that they're in love because they are trying to leave. They will believe we are coming back, or at least try to come back, that we are obsessed with them. Yeah, I told you, like I was...
It's funny that he just skipped the sentence that says we don't, like, they won't chase. If I just spotted that this man left that sentence out, Bruce, I cannot continue listening to this.
Make them believe we're in love. They will not either suspect us of leaving whatsoever. So
skip the sentence, guys.
Them that they're in
this
love,
dude skipped the sentence, bro.
Trying to leave. They will believe we are...
The man skipped the sentence right here. That's funny, bro. It's ridiculous.
Coming back. Or
you see, most people would watch this video and not catch that. But it's interesting that he skipped that sentence.
At least try to come back. That we are obsessed with them. Yeah, I told you, like I was saying, a nice message that we are hurt or shit like that, and that we do love them, but just don't like the situation. So they would not think that we're really against them. So they're having to survive, right?
Bruce, if they said they needed to survive, they would fucking say it. Why are you adding words in here, Bruce?
We do love
Nobody said trying to survive, Bruce.
them, but just don't like the situation. So they would not think that we're really against them. So they're having to survive, right? And it's totally opposite of what we're talking about earlier.
Guys, the reason we're watching this is it's not whether there's a point in watching it or not. It's that we need to be fair across the board. So Bruce is cutting out sentences. That's not a good look, Bruce. In the court of law, you would have to read that second sentence, which you did not read, which states what?
Earlier. And what Andrew Tate's...
What does it state, Andrew? Excuse me, Bruce. What does the sentence that you skip state? Or if they find out we do what? We do what? We leave. Right here. They eventually will. They won't chase. What? Eventually will what? Suspect. They won't chase. They won't. The girls are saying they won't chase. Bruce, I need you to let me know. I don't want to judge your character, Bruce. I don't, and nor will I. But if it was me on this other side and you missed this sentence about me, I would call you a slime ball. I'm not saying you are, but that was pretty slimy, whether it was your editor or yourself, to leave that out.
will not think that we are really against them, you know? Yeah, that's smart. Play the victim. I mean, but we are. But we are.
I mean, we are, quote unquote. Wait, what?
But like, yeah, we act like we still love them and stuff. Haha. I mean, we are. Wait, what? But maybe I will just tell them, like, I take the day off.
Interesting. Do sex trafficked individuals get to take the day off? It looks like a job. Hey, I'm gonna call the boss, tell him I'm off for the day.
Just take the day off, so I don't have to play. Yeah, we didn't decide on that. Here's the thing. This is.
Tell me what the thing is, Bruce.
If you no, I'm gonna play a couple videos for you of Andrew Tate. His thing is all about manipulation.
Okay, we're gonna go past Andrew's videos. If you're gonna want to go watch Andrew's videos, this is the thumbnail style video. I want to go back to the chat logs. That's all I care about is the chat logs.
These tweets that are very selective in the text logs that they've shown, man, and a couple other places. But look what they're doing. I mean, because you know the girls feel comfortable around other girls, right? And it doesn't seem as threatening. We're gonna post this. This was originally.
Go to our community section to view most recent posts. So you guys can go to Bruce's thing to read.
We got this from the Crabman and a couple other places.
Okay, so there's a guy called Crabman that has these docs, and this guy's just commenting on it. So does he comment about anything else? No, it's all Andrew Tate videos. L Bruce on this one. Sorry, Bruce. Sorry, Bruce. Brother Bruce, you left the most important sentence out. Bruce, you left the most important sentence out regarding the Andrew Tate case. And you know what that is? It's the fact that in the chat logs, there's one sentence that was left out. Bruce, if they find out we do, what? Leave. They eventually will, what? Suspect. They won't chase. Screenshot that. L Bruce. Bruce, you're too intelligent, Bruce. You're board certified. You've been a lawyer for 25 years. You know exactly what you did. You know exactly what you did, Bruce. Or make a video adding that into context. Oh, hang on, guys. Hang on. We have to read the rest of the chat because he hasn't. I want to look at these emojis. Oh my goodness, bro. This shit's crazy. Okay, let's read the chat here. Chat, if you can't see the log, that's totally fine. I apologize. You might have to just deal with it. Let me make the screen a little bit bigger. One second. Okay. Maybe I just tell them I take the day off. AK, you have a job. You know, if your boss lets you take the day off, yeah, just take off. So it's like these chicks are literally saying, yeah, just don't go to work. Just don't clock in today. So I don't have to play. What? Play a part. Yeah, didn't we decide on that? Yeah, ha 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 ha, I completely forgot about it. Ha ha, silly me. Oops, nails being painted. But yeah, the thing is, it's just that I didn't go live yesterday either. AK, she didn't do her job yesterday either. And so imagine not clocking into your job for 2 days and your boss being like, yeah, that's fine. Interesting. Fuck it, we're leaving tomorrow. But fuck it. Yeah. Who cares if they get mad? Fuck them. And fuck this place. So what is she saying? Yeah, who cares if I go into work? Fuck them. Fuck them all. Okay? So she's saying that. She can say that's completely fair, right? She doesn't have to be anywhere she doesn't want to be. It's just, I don't want them to get suspicious. It'll only be that way if we let them believe that. We're fine. Don't even... We're fine. We're fine. They said that. We're fine. Don't even stress about it, babe. Let's read what it says underneath. I can't read it because of the... Pretend it's another day. You're just tired. Pretend it's another day. It's just another day. Whatever. Not a big deal. I don't know what to tell you guys. This looks really, really odd to me. So to validate these emojis, it looks kind of terrible. I mean, we are, quote unquote. Damn, bro. It's not great for these chicks, bro. It's not great for these chicks, to be honest. Not looking good. Yeah, not looking great. Okay, there is a thread by a gentleman called, I'm gonna give him proper name. He is called Nick Monroe. He runs an account called Crabman. He is a journalist that used to work at something called TP Millennial. He does news and politics. Find me a job. Also, go to church on Sunday. So there's this guy, this account. You guys can look at it. I'm being fair and unbiased across the board, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to review Crabman's information regarding Andrew Tate. He created like a mega thread. So we're going to go through this mega thread. It's going to be a while because it looks like a super long thread. I have yet to go through it, but we are going to go through this because as per the lawyer, right? The lawyer that we addressed, he talked about Crabman. So when he said, oh, this guy Crabman posted this, I went to look for this guy Crabman and I found him. So I found where he posted his tweets. So we're going to read them. I have yet to read. I think I read like the first 2 or 3 tweets, but obviously it's really long and I'm not going to do things 3 or 4 times. So we're going to read this. Okay. But right now, Bruce, you took an L. I apologize. If you still want to defend Andrew and Tristan from their legal battles through their $100 million fund, please get in contact with me. I'll get your first flight ticket over because that was a pretty snarky remark to make, and I'll hold you to it. And we'll see how that works out. Anyways, we need to refresh how we talk about Andrew Tate. What about Epstein? Bad news, Tate bros. Andrew looked up to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, let's see how he looked up to Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you he didn't look up to Jeffrey Epstein because of the conversation that we had in private regarding all these weird pedophiles. Remember, okay? He's highlighting things, but we are not going to highlight things. People highlight things. We are going to read all of the tweets, okay? We're going to read all of the tweets because people with this microwave mentality, they just read, right? The stuff that's underlined and make assumptions. Okay, so this stuff is from 2020, 2019, 3-4 years ago, okay? And let's get into it. Everyone wants to be friends with the champion fighter. It's why the Romanian mafia let me run my casinos here. It's why the billionaires at Bugatti events will do business with me. I didn't waste $4 million. I invested $4 million. The Bugatti's integral part of my $50 million yacht plans. Nothing really there. Everyone wants to be friends with the pimp. Doubt me? Epstein had access to pussy. Look at his fucking friend list. He's not wrong. A lot of the people that watch webcam and watch OnlyFans, they're what? They're perverts. So everyone wants to be friends, aka everybody wants to be related or have a relationship with a guy that has access to what? Women. Epstein didn't just have access to women, he had access to children, and he was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So Crab, you should probably look into Epstein a little bit more. That dude was pretty diabolical. And I probably would not put somebody that does OnlyFans cams with girls on the same level as a guy that is known to sacrifice children. So that's a little bit of a stretch there, Bruce. It's basic human psychology. It's basic human psychology. I have the assets every man who's not a hating bitch wishes they had. And the next best thing is being me. That to be me is knowing me. So he's the plugged guy because he has access to the girls. That's what he's saying. Next. Porn actor Ron Jeremy found mentally incompetent to stand trial for rape. So adult film star John blah blah, blah charged for raping 3 chicks and assaulting Jeremy, 69, pleaded not guilty in 2021 to more than 30 counts of sexual assault, including 12 not guilty in Los Angeles and over Los Angeles area over a 23-year period. He has been in prison since his arrest in June 2020. Okay, so the dude's in prison. Ron Jeremy and I are arguing. He thinks he slept with more girls than me. War room meetings are crazy. Unprompted, Ron Jeremy turns up. What can I say? What does that mean? Unprompted. It means the dude just pulled up, right? It wasn't scripted. They're not homeboys. The dude just pulled up, having a conversation. This dude is an adult porn star, and what Tate is conveying through this is that he has more sexual intercourse than the porn star. Not that he's a rapist, or let's see what the tweet says. Also, he hung out with Ron Jeremy. Like, dude, it says, impromptu Ron Jeremy turns up. The dude just pulled up and they had a conversation. I've had a conversation with Bill Clinton in real life. It was like 4 minutes prior to me knowing what a weirdo he is. Does that make me guilty? No. So anyway, that's Ron Jeremy. So I'm guessing Ron Jeremy is a bad dude. Don't know much about Ron Jeremy besides this tweet. But per Andrew, right? Impromptu Jeremy turns up. Not sure where they are, but that's the situation. Anyways, take a gander at how Andrew handles himself. Would you go public against Andrew Tate if he had violated you in the past? The answer is probably no. So what he's trying to convey is if Andrew Tate has done something to you in the past that is wrong, would you dare to go up against him, or are you scared? That's what he's conveying. And his assumption as to why he's making this assumption is based off of these tweets. So let's read Andrew's tweets, understanding these tweets potentially in context. And yeah, so first, right here. You may remember about a year and a half ago, I tweeted about losing 200K in a crypto hack. Finding out who did it. A 2013 forum with some information which matched other info we found, tracking him to Ukraine and planning to go mafia to get my money back. What, he's gonna call the cops to get his $250,000 fucking dollars back? No, the dude's gonna go take business into his own hands. Like, I'm gonna go get my money. You don't think I'm gonna pull up to have a conversation with people that scam me for $250,000? Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. The guy's sister just confirmed to me that he's already dead. It means I can't get my money back because I tasked my most convincing friends. Looks like he stole from someone else who worked even faster than I did, right? So he wasn't able to get his money back. He wasn't able to get the dude, and the dude got capped, probably for being a scammer. So Andrew wasn't able to get his money back. I would be upset if I lose $250,000, and I would want to fucking find out where that money went. 100%, especially if the governments and the institutions are not familiar with crypto or anything crypto. Next tweet. A lot of little dorks on the internet saying tough and acting tough and doing stupid things. All of you are findable. With my bank balance and network, it's true. I could literally find any one of you in any country, home address. If I can, imagine who else can. Think twice. I mean, it's pretty easy to find information from people on the internet. This idea of anonymity online is not really that much of an issue. All of you are findable. I mean, it's pretty factual. If you guys aren't able to read, I'll read these because zooming in was going to make me move my screen a whole lot. The girls would never fight. This is talking about the girls would never fight, okay? I'm assuming it's fighting against each other. But we're always trying to get one up on the other, usually by pleasing me. They were in direct competition. Fate would have it that I fired too. And that last one left, started arguing with me over dumb shit. She behaved when fighting the others. So what is she saying? When all these girls were trying to be in a relationship or do business with Andrew, they were in direct competition of what? Trying to what? Please him by doing whatever it is that he asked them to do, or being in a relationship, whatever. Fired two, and then the third one started arguing because she had no person to compete with. I'm assuming that's what he's saying. But when there was one left to fight with, guess who she turned on? The drama and battle is... She turned on Andrew, I'm guessing. The drama was no longer between the girls, it was with Andrew. Okay? Just behave themselves all the time. The drama and battle is simply too addictive. It's just to behave themselves all the time. There's a fine line to have to make them all friends while all ratting on each other. So basically the girls tell on each other because there's a whole lot of drama and they can't be friends. She felt powerless with those other girls in the house. She knew they wanted her to fuck up and she wouldn't give them the satisfaction. She felt powerless of what? What does she feel powerless to? Push the drama to Andrew, or turn on Andrew, or what? Have to please Andrew. She felt powerless of what? Competing. I mean, that's pretty common. Like if you're competing, being powerless is this is going to be long. She felt powerless with those other two girls in the house. She knew they'd want to fuck up and she wouldn't give them the satisfaction. But when they weren't there, why not be a dickhead now and again? You understand? AKA she felt like before she could kind of like, she didn't really have the ability to famoose because they had to compete for the attention of the individual. So she felt powerless, but now that the girls are gone, she can be rude to him, whatever. I guess that's the context. Why are you saying you don't drink? When I knocked on your door, this was what I saw. You're a lazy, dishonest alcoholic and pathetic, begging to pay rent. So I'm guessing he pulled up to somebody's crib. If knocking on a door was a crime, even Jehovah's Witnesses would be in jail. It's not a crime just because you're a massive wimp who cries like a girl. Now, I will say something. It's become extremely common to disrespect people and to steal from people on the internet. And people now find it weird that somebody would just pull up to their crib to demand answers. You know, I personally wouldn't do it because you don't know who's on the other side of the door. But Andrew did. There's nothing wrong with it. This is a lot to read. If a girl asks your job and you say assassin, she should become nervous. If she laughs, you're a bitch. What is he trying to convey? He's trying to convey that in that mystique of that dating scene or whatever it is, or picking up girls, and she asks you, what's your gig? You want to be finessing her and telling her, hey, I'm an assassin. Based off of your physical appearance, she's going to look at you and she's going to be like, oh shit, he's an assassin. Or she's going to look at you and you look like a complete nerd, and she laughs, you're a bitch. If she laughs, you're a bitch. What is he conveying? If she laughs because she doesn't believe you, you're a bitch. So nothing here proves to me, Crab, that people aren't willing to go up against Andrew Tate. Unfortunately, it doesn't prove that. If you take a look at the 33,000 tweets of his old account, Andrew Tate makes it clear he isn't playing a character. You'll consistently see arrogant guy who flaunts his lifestyle. Now it's to his detriment. The theme here is the story is going to be self-snitching. So, okay, the whole point is, regardless of whether he says he's acting or not, when you're with him in private, the dude's completely different. And that's the reality of the situation. So you cannot fake my lifestyle. It's right here on Instagram. Look at it yourself. So the guy's basically just validating who he is. I just want to read the tweets that are highlighted. Honestly, I'm just going to put this up here. You guys can pause, read them yourselves. I don't know how long this thread is, but it's fucking long. We've been doing this for an hour and a half. I don't know how people are covering this shit. I don't know if they're making 10-minute videos about this. but I'm trying to be thorough and honest as best I can. So we're not in for instant gratification. We are going to be in a situation where we take our time. This is my first time reviewing it, so I don't microwave these results. But seeing is believing. Andrew Tate filmed a play-to-play of his street races against people in April 2020. He even shows the part where police let them go, calling himself above the law. Thinking himself to be above the law comes up a lot too. Thinking you're above the law and not a crime whatsoever. You should ask all the people in office and all the banks whether they feel above the law, crab, and you might find an astounding answer. So the dude says, I'm above the law. I'm Nico, I'm above the law. Calls himself James Bond. Like the fact that the fact that you're here talking about parking tickets as like some sort of criminal offense when the guy's like, fuck it, I'm gonna park my nice car wherever I want, and if I'm gonna get ticketed, I'll pay the tickets. What's even funnier is, much like Bond, I don't have to pay my parking tickets. They can't make me. I'm a legal black hole. I'm above the law. Explain here. And I'm assuming he's going to go into explaining that he has a lot of passports or whatever. Well, truth is, the reason you don't have to pay your parking tickets is because it's a civil offense. And like, honestly, like, what are they going to do? Take your car? They're not going to put you in jail over parking tickets. So probably doesn't really care. And plus, if he doesn't live in that city, right? He doesn't really care. So this looks like it's London or some city in the UK. Italian police are accusing me of speeding. They also told me off for taking pics. You stopping me from enjoying myself? Why wouldn't I take a photo? Fake news. Mr. Innocent, Mr. Sexy. Can I see license? Yeah, sure. Which country? I have 11 pussy. So basically, the guy is utilizing multiple licenses to not have to deal with the cops. I mean, there is no rule, in my opinion, that says that if you have an international driver's license, why wouldn't you show it? I mean, it's totally fine. I remember when I went to Mexico once and I got stopped for speeding and I had my license. The cops wanted to extort me for like $2,000 and they wanted to take my license. And I ended up having to go to the police station because they withheld my license, right? So I understand where he's coming from, that he doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. He'll just give him the license, and potentially not necessarily the license that he utilizes on a regular basis. But he's complying by the law by driving with a license. So we have to make that point. Flashback to the time. Okay, so this is a lot of driving. Is this it? Okay, there's more. Tate haters or lovers alike ought to take a deeper dive into Avwudon account. So if you guys want to look into Avwudon account, feel free to do that. Here's a 2014-2015 era video of Tristan and Andrew in their mountains with girls who make them 200K. The captain's word is law. So the captain's word is law. You could replace CEO, right? Or boss is law. I don't know. Nothing really wrong with that. The girls make them money. They're sitting at the crib and they're filming it. The girls are semi in like their underwear, so I don't know if I can show that. Again, the point here is Andrew Tate should not just be thought of as a cam girl pimp. So what should he be thought as? What should he be thought as? I'm guessing he's putting more stuff here. Should I go through all of this, guys? Do I need to be like mad thorough? I'm trying to do the best of my abilities here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's read this. Most people lack stamina for life, stamina to resist. Let me tell you a story I've never told on Twitter before. A man robbed me of 500 pounds on a low-level business deal 4 years ago. I found his brother owned a Lebanese restaurant, so I put a cam girl outside with flyers saying, "This is a family of thieves." She handed them out to people on their way in and out, with the true story saying they robbed this pretty girl's money instead of mine. Customers started complaining to staff. "Why'd you steal from her?" The owner grew tired of the bullshit, fatigued, then yelled at the girl, and customers were disgusted. "You can't yell at her. You robbed her. I was sitting in the car watching, making sure she's okay. It took only 3 days for the brother, not even the man, to pay me." So he went to the family and he made the family pay him back for the $500. It's interesting though that he didn't highlight the sentence that says, "I was sitting in the car watching, making sure she's okay." That's an interesting observation because he was there waiting to make sure his employee was okay. Pretty good. From Moscow to Sofia, I have Eastern Europe absolutely on lock. Never think I'm exaggerating. Steal €5 and you'll pay, and they won't know it. So he might give me 500 back. I have the time, connections, and spite to ruin you. I'll find you. I can only say I'm sorry and was just trying to hustle to beat this Corona shit. So Andrew is basically stating that he has the time to be petty over $500, and he'll come for it. Not only has Andrew personally bragged about using multiple passports to escape the law, which is something that a lot of people with money do. Escaping the law is not necessarily wrong. The law can also be unjust and unfair. Crab. So you also need to understand that having multiple passports is good in case of an emergency, whereby your government becomes locked down for years on years and years on end, like China, right? And if you are a Chinese multimillionaire, you would probably have documents and citizenships in other places and dip when shit hits the fan. So escaping the law is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a thing that he taught others, as if that's bad. You can't ban me from driving. I have 9 licenses. You can't freeze my passports. I have 4. That's a fact. Because if they take one of your licenses away, you still have 8 to legally drive. I don't like putting my money places where a tax authority is involved. They're gonna steal it. Fuck them. I don't like putting my money places where a tax authority is involved. They're gonna steal it. Fuck them. So what does that mean? That he likes to put his money in places that have good tax rules. Okay, they're gonna steal it. Fuck them. So he doesn't want his money taken. The new cars, the new private planes, 5 casinos building, or 5 casinos open, 9 casino buildings, huge cam profits. Signal securing the house, 4 new passports and driver's license, plus all the adventures of Tate Confidential. Okay, so the guy has a lot of passports. Nothing criminal there. A review of Andrew Tate's social media history shows an anti-tax belief to the point of repeatedly. Imagine being like a lover of tax. Let's read this one, because he says to the point where he of repeatedly and openly advocating for tax fraud. So let's read everything in context. I pay myself $10K on Instapost, tax write-off, KISS, paid partnership with Tate Ltd, unknown location. I sponsor myself to write off taxes. Fuck the tax man. How about that? Now, it's interesting because as I hire influencers and pay influencers for posts, right? I have come to realize by talking to a lot of these big influencers, okay, that they're in a situation whereby they sponsor themselves as marketing material. So, in front of the law, Crab, one entity is Tate Ltd, and another person is Andrew Tate, the individual. Tate Ltd can spend marketing dollars with Cobra Tate because it's not a gimmick, because he's actually an influencer. Therefore, Tate Ltd can pay, right, and put whatever message he wants and pay himself. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It is a marketing expenditure. Whether you pay yourself, right, to market your own business. He's not paying himself to not do anything. He's marketing his business. He's putting it on social media. Very interesting. It's very interesting. I don't know much about Crabman, but I'm assuming he's extremely biased. But I want to read this in a fair way. Get a loan and refuse to pay it back. Sell or transfer your assets first, or just do it before you can move country. Cash enslaves people. It's not fair. The banks are absolute criminals, and you need to get small retributions. They're simply print money. Fuck them. So basically he's saying dude, if you want to finesse, get a loan and don't pay it back. It's the bank's, right, responsibility to ensure that the people that they lend their money out to pay it back. If you refuse to pay it back, they'll get a collections agency. They will sell their debt to a collections agency for cheaper than the actual debt that you have. So like, let's say 70 cents on the dollar of the debt. And then that tax collection company will sell it to another person, and another person until it becomes extremely diluted, right? However, it is not illegal, right? It is not illegal. He's finessing. But who is he finessing? He says the banks are absolutely criminal. So his justification is to be like Robin Hood, right? Fuck them. Fuck the banks. They steal from us. I'm not going to pay back my loan. Boom, done. That's what he's conveying in this point. Now, whether it's morally correct or not does not entail whether it is legally correct or not. Because the moment that the bank sells the debt to a collections company, you are no longer in that agreement. And that happens quite fast. Let's read. Stop cowering to the machine. They are not as powerful as you imagine to be. Tell the tax man you didn't earn any money and you don't have any money and you're sorry. Worst case, you pay him. You'll be surprised how far "don't know, I'm broke" gets you. Billionaires do it. Billionaires do it? Okay, billionaires don't do this. Tell the tax man you didn't earn any money and you didn't have any money and you're sorry. Well, this is lying. Okay? I'm fair. I'm double-sided. So, nope. Fuck the tax man. Cheat every way possible. I know, guys, and this is interesting. Interesting that he didn't highlight this part because it gives context to the word cheat. Okay? Fuck the tax man. Cheat every possible way. I know guys who gave up their US passports to avoid taxes, turn over $4 million a year, sitting on a Polish passport, paying 3% tax. That's what Andrew's talking in context of cheating. Cheating what? Cheating the system. Cheating, okay? Cheating the system doesn't mean it's illegal. Doesn't mean it's illegal. Doesn't mean it's illegal. That's what he's talking. It needs to be in context. You need to understand how this man talks. This man talks, right, in big generalizations, and you said it in the other guy said it before as well, right? Talks very big. Let's see. Somebody said it's frozen. Is it frozen, guys, or are you guys good with the camera? Give me a one if we're chilling, if we're good. So this looks like whatever as well. Okay, fuck the tax man, cheat every way possible, but in context. Well, this is a lot. Let's watch this video. Let me go to the update. So there's a ton of shit here, guys. You can go through it yourself. There's a lot of obsession on Andrew Tate. Big obsession on Andrew Tate. What I want to do is I want to go to February 1st. I want to go to the updated documents and I want to read them. And I want to make my own deduction. So you guys can go look at all of this. It would take me a fucking long ass time to get through all of it. I'll probably do it in private to really get some understanding as to what this guy is saying. And I'm going to read it clearly and have a better assumption. But you guys can read through all of this big ass thread of a dude that seems to be highly obsessed with Andrew. This is a lot of shit. Let me keep going. What we're doing here is we're being unbiased. We're looking at every piece of information and we need to be thorough. So you guys can read this. As you guys can tell, it would fucking take us 8 hours to get through all of this. As you guys can tell, there's a lot of shit here. You guys can go look into it and read it in context without just reading these little things. Okay, here we go. So here are the claims from the other day. Here we have the girl, Andrew Tate's ex-girlfriend of 6+ years, denounces the American and Moldovan victims based on WhatsApp messages Okay. So that's the girl that says that she's not a victim, that she's innocent. Let's see here. Where is the update? Do we have the updated log, guys? I feel like I'm... Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see what's going on here. So who's talking? Who are the people talking here? Let's get some context. New chat logs from the American victim of the Tate brothers. She planned to leave on her own with the other girl. She planned to leave on her own. They're definitely trafficking women. American girl had solid relationship with the family. Clear that both girls were afraid. Family told victim to keep low profile until escape. Can we get these documents? They also look they seem legit, so let's consider them legit. So these two people are conversing, so let's just go into it. Gorgeous over here, lucky you. I'm leaving to London in a couple days. Tristan and his brother are terrible people. Bring a girl that's been stuck with me. Maybe I came here for a reason. Cutting my losses, and we're making a plan to leave. These guys are actually evil. Be very, very careful. Talk to the American embassy if you can. Bought girl a ticket. She will transfer money to me. Okay, so the girls do have money to buy tickets. So they have the ability to leave. Send the whole itinerary. How are you going out of the house? Send this whole itinerary. How will you get out? Do you think he will let you go after investing so much in you? They have a plan for you and the girl, and it's very dangerous. We don't know what that is. I'm going to stay at my friend, a name, when I land in London. I will host, will host me for a couple weeks and while I get some work and make some money out there and go on adventures. I'm a little worried about leaving, but we set our flight up for 6 a.m. So she has money to dip. He moved me into a house with 4 other girls. 3 of the 4 girls have been here for 1 to 5 years and are the groomers. They normalize taking your clothes off and sending them pictures all together. It's interesting. Okay, so 3 of the 4 girls have been here for 1 to 5 years and are groomers. Tristan's brother is dating somebody from a certain location. She has broken up with him. He texted her, telling her if she loves him, she will cut an A in her wrist. His name is Andrew. Okay, would love to see the text message of that. They are definitely trafficking women. Name of whatever person. I told you. Now try to get out of there quietly. Yeah, I'm going to get this girl out. Her name is Aliona. Hi, Dad here. So I'm guessing it's the mother, and then the phone was passed to your dad. Stop your messages now. Go low key, as you are in a very dangerous situation. This is a secure chat. They don't check my phones. I'm actually in the best position to be able to get out right now. The other girl might... Okay, so these dudes don't check your phones. They don't give a fuck if you leave. You got your plane ticket. You can pay for it. These girls are brainwashed. So are they trafficked or are they brainwashed? What's going on here, guys? The other girls might tell them, though, we are going to leave when they are sleeping. So he's saying that the other girls are snitches and that they're going to tell Andrew that they're dipping. They don't do anything except stay at the house, and if they leave, everyone has to know. So they're able to leave the house freely, right? But if they leave, they have to let everybody know. There are handlers too. So there's apparently 3 girls that live at the house of 5 that run the other 2. So 3 girls to groom 2 girls. Please don't think you are more clever than these guys. Keep a low profile. Be careful. You are getting to get your needs. Do not display your aggression. The aggression that you have, you will not win. So the girls has aggression. She's angry. She's upset, but don't display it. You will not win. Get to London and come back safely. We will get the tickets. So parents can pay for tickets. Tristan let her go. Interesting. Tristan let her go. I don't understand the context of that statement. Is like Tristan let her go, or is he's telling Tristan let her go? And it looks like Tristan let her go as in like Tristan let the girl go to London. That's what it looks like, right? That's what it sounds like. Thanks, heart, no worries. I can get tickets. So what is he saying is she has the money to buy tickets. So she can clearly leave. You shouldn't have to worry about the money. This is my fault. So the girl's telling her parents, it's not a big deal. I can pay for it, whatever. But I'm glad I came because there is another girl here that definitely needs my help. Parents, I guess. I know, but you are not getting your help with the situation to help anyone who is now at risk other than yourself. Now we should be in total survival mode. Get low key. You're going to be able to help anyone but yourself. I am being very realistic. Wake up to a bad situation and with no heroics. So her dad basically warning her, get out of there, get out of there. It's not a good situation. But what's the only context that the dad has? The only context that the parents have is the context that the daughter is given the parents. That's the only context that these guys have. That's the truth. And you need to understand a parental dynamic. You need to understand the parent. They said dad here is funny. Go speak to a dad and see what relationship they have with their daughter, regardless of the age. The daughter is always in danger. I'm not saying this is justified, this is wrong, or this is right, or that this is blown out of proportion. But what I'm conveying is that the context that this gentleman has is merely the context that he's given by the daughter. We just need you to be safe, where you can really consider your actions that put you at risk every day. I know the situation. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. The best way to approach this is calm and nonchalantly. That's survival. It'll be okay. Just wanted to keep you in the loop. Give me updates. Should be in London by the 12th. Okay. But be ready to just be in transit. We need you back home to really have an in-depth talk. I'm still your loving dad, and mom is always best friends. So parents concerned for their kids. This girl says that both, right? She says survival mode, but then also says that she can dip. Very, very, very interesting. But in my opinion, once again, just a conversation. Nothing super ridiculous. Okay, perfect. Talk to dad, mom, best friends, but enough is enough. I am worrying. Okay, I'm going to bed now. I'm talking to somebody. It's going to be okay. I love you both. That's what the daughter says. Well, that is really assuring. What? It's going to be okay. Tell me really what is really going on. I've told you what is going on. I'm remaining as calm as possible. I also don't have a big belief that they will stop us from Bro, you see, like, this is the type of shit that just is super loopy, right? It's super loopy, very loopy, because she says, I also don't have a big belief that they will stop us from going because we've made the brothers believe that we're in love. They think we'll run back. Okay? So they're under the assumption, not fact, assumption that Andrew and Tristan don't care because they think that she loves them. In my opinion, based off of the interactions that I've had with them, is that they don't care because they don't care, because it's how they operate. That's how I perceived it based off of understanding them. My main concerns are coming from these things some other girls are saying. It's a lot to explain, but we'll be out of here fine. Interesting. I don't think they care much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. Why do you feel okay? So you don't like the job, you don't like the gig, you don't like the environment. Fair. But to say that you have captors, right? This is what other people are saying, is not true, because it literally says, I don't think they care that much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. I don't really care. It's not a big deal because they don't care. Okay. It's more of the girl I'm with. I also want to go to London to see one of the girls and gather evidence. We're waiting for that evidence, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 10 months. I would like to see it. We're going to send it to the FBI. So much for honesty. Laugh face. Okay, I've got this on my own and I want to go to London and finally enjoy my trip. Thanks for the chat. Just want to let you know what happened. You are the only ones that know my location and where I'm at. Everything will be okay. Please don't add stress to it all. I want to go to London just to finally have that experience. So the girl's already thinking about traveling and going on an adventure. So there's evidence that, so I'm looking, okay, perfect. So let's say there's evidence for the FBI. That's what I want to see next, ladies and gentlemen. So far, that's what we have. We have 2 more chat logs to go through. Perfect. What's the first one here? So when I talked to the Tate camp, I told them I was going to cover this very honestly, very transparently, and I was going to cover everything. So from both sides of the camps, we're going to be covering everything in a very good fashion. Thank you, babe. How far is food, by the way? As you are, I'm assuming, angry as me or hangry as me. We will talk more tonight. And the prize for Best Actress is going to Emma. Smiley face. Yeah, I'm starving. I can't see, though, because it is not showing me. Okay, so the girl wins, okay, for Best Actress that day. I'm assuming it has to do with something with the Tate relationship. Like the post from TikToks, a golden Oscar now, please. Fuck Glavo. Laugh my ass off. It's very interesting. The conversation this chick has with other girls is very different to the conversation for parents, right? The conversation that this girl's having with their parents versus the conversation that he's having with the other girl, the tonality is extremely different. This is the girl that he's trying to bring, that she's trying to bring with her, Aliona, okay? Once I get famous and rich, I'll be sure to get one for you. So these girls, they're about the bag, right? They're about the fame and the bag. So it makes sense why Tate's former business, right, would be appealing to them because they can get famous and they can get rich. And you can through these businesses because there's a lot of fucking weirdos that pay for this shit. I'm just wondering how late we can stay up. I'm guessing that's what it says. It's not, it's cut out, guys, by the way. Now, because X name is constantly, it's not showing the full tweet, guys. I'm sorry. It's kind of chopped up. We will see how we do it later. I can't believe you've been alone on this shit. I'm really happy I'm here with you. LOL, what do you mean? Me too. I just mean you're a badass. I kind of ignored a word, my something. I haven't really spoken about this with anyone because let's be honest. If we make them believe we are in love, they will either not suspect us of leaving whatsoever. Or if they do find out, they will eventually, which they eventually will, they won't chase. This is an extremely important comment to make. This is an extremely important comment to make because the same girl that is telling her parents that she's not safe is also saying, right, that if they do find out, they're not going to chase. So I'm seeing a discrepancy between the relationship of how this girl is conversing with her parents and how she's conversing with this friend. Now, mind you, I'm not even, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even thinking about Andrew Tate at this point. I'm not even thinking about Tristan Tate. Guys, this goes beyond, I'm looking at this for what this is and deciphering this for what it means. Because this is what the court's going to have to do. They're going to have to look at this pragmatically and decide. But if erase Andrew Tate, put another person in there, right? Put yourself in the situation. This shit sounds super odd. I don't care if it's the full logs or the micro logs. Read this. And I'm assuming the stuff that was doctored was cut out, most likely because saying, you know, did you get food and shit like that? It wasn't relevant to the conversation, right? So it makes sense. Okay, we continue moving. We already covered this, ladies and gentlemen, with the lawyer Bruce. Quote unquote, I mean, we are victims. Wait, what? But maybe I just tell them I take off today. So it's a job. They can take off whenever they want. She took off the day before. She's taken off the next day. Says, fuck them. Who cares if they get mad? But fuck it. We're leaving. It's just that I don't want them to get suspicious. It's the only way. It's only if we let them believe that. We're fine. Don't even stress, babe. Pretend it's another day. You're just tired. Okay, so she's going to take off work. Just pretend we're chilling. That's what she's saying. So I don't know if she's saying it to like keep this other girl calm or she's saying it because she actually means it. But what I can tell you is the demeanor of this girl with her parents is very, very different. I don't know where they would get others. Maybe you from your Insta. Maybe from your Insta, like with clothes. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Honestly, don't. It's a new account. Don't. Tomorrow. Haha, got it. Ha 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 ha. Nobody knows about it now. Don't do anything about today. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Our song. Don't be suspicious. Don't be. I'm guessing it's a song. OMG, I realized within the past 12 hours, we realized this is trafficking. We lived in the mentality of trafficked women. Believed we had the US Embassy and Marines and FBI about to break into the house, took selfies with bread, and had a few panic attacks. And now we're sitting here smiling, acting normal. So these chicks are saying, we realize that we're trafficking, and now we're here sitting, smiling, acting normal. OMG, I know, this is so crazy. What the hell, can't even. We are so good, though. We need a fucking Oscar. Let's go. We just gotta play it cool and change my name so it will not start with A. LOL, got it. Interesting. Fact. When I was to check somebody or something, I was like, are you okay? And she was sleeping. And she said I was not able to sleep. Oh, fuck. I don't think she heard anything because we put music. But it's just crazy. She was the one who smoked those cigarettes. Thank God you played the music. Okay, so I have no idea what the context is. But the only important part here in this kind of scenario is this one that says, OMG, I realized in the last 12 hours. So within the last 12 hours... Interesting. After talking to parents, she's come to the realization, right, that she's being trafficked. Prior to that, right, she didn't think that she was being trafficked. Very interesting that trafficked people tend to know that they're trafficked, right? This epiphany that you just called the FBI the same day that you feel like you're trafficked is just really kind of a mumbo jumbo. I'm gonna give the girls the benefit of the doubt on that one, but honestly, it's not amazing. And I had a few panic attacks, and now we're sitting here smiling, acting normal. Okay, we read that. It's crazy. Thank God we played the music. It's whatever are we talking about? She steals people's stuff. She stole from Plenty. Will beat her. And other girls. Trust me. How would she know that they are And how would find out? Who's It would be good to know. The name Tristan doesn't fit here, and the name Andrew doesn't fit here. So it must be another name. Aliona, I hope she will not be awake. So somebody, right? So somebody, one of the girls, so one of the girls beats another girl that steals. Is that the context there? Maybe you guys can help me with that one. I hope she will not be awake when we leave. Fuck. Have you ever gotten Uber? Have you ever gotten Uber from, and I guess it's the location, yeah. She probably thought she had it in the bag. What? So, okay, that one's done. And what's the second one? Wow, another long one. People are saying, you're trying too hard? I ain't trying too hard, bro. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get some context. As you guys know, I never keep my lives up beyond 24 hours. So you guys can take all of this stuff, clip it, do what you will. Because in 24 hours, I always take down my live streams to not make my channel look ugly. And because there's too much sauce many times that I don't want people to have access to. But anyways, good advice. Thank you, babe. Yeah, I'm starving. Anyways, so this is a big context. You guys can read it if you want to. I'm assuming that's another screenshot of the same shit. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's the updated stuff. Based off of what I've seen, in my opinion, these girls, in my opinion, based off of what I've seen, these girls have yet to show me, right? Have yet to show me that they, beyond them believing 12 hours before that they were sex trafficked, 12 hours to make a decision under high stress, how she mentioned, and things of this nature, that they're trafficked, which makes little sense to me. They said that they're acting. They said that they got money to dip. They dipped. And that's pretty much it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have up to date with regards to the chat logs. And that's a pretty good deciphering of this current situation. What do you guys think? I mean, if this was me, I would probably want more evidence than this to lock me up. This ain't enough to lock me up, bro. Like, this shit is not enough. In this, it was proven that the ladies had access to conversing with their parents. They had the money to not only purchase their own flights, but to front the money for the flights of another individual. They laughed. They came to the realization that they were trafficked within 12 hours of them making a plan to dip. And Tristan and Andrew, because they love them, right? They're loved, or they love Andrew and Tristan, don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta see more. For me to lock up a dude for 60 days, I have to see more. Not enough evidence. Somebody said something about full send or Nelk. What's going on? What's going on with that one? You guys mentioned something. I don't know what you guys mentioned in the Nelk boys. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the 2 hours of going over in a thorough way tweets and chat logs in a very thorough way. Okay? So I hope this was of value to you. We watched the videos of the board certified lawyer and how he famoosed some of the sentences. We looked at Crab and we looked at the other journalist as well that basically said Tate is innocent. So we looked at both scenarios, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll be honest with you, I have my doubts. I have my doubts that these girls are telling the truth. That is just my opinion. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Time will tell. But I will say this. If Andrew and Tristan are listening, if you guys have received unfair judgment, know one thing. That if this injustice is truly injustice and you do not receive a fair trial, that your perpetrators, if they do not receive justice and pay in this life, they'll pay in the next. As God is our witness and we stand here, understand that defamation is a big deal. Understand that talking about people's character is a big deal. But on the other side, as you begin to be successful, you're going to be in a situation, right, where a lot of people are going to want to frame you. They're wanting to do shit to you. And I'm not saying that these dudes are perfect. In fact, far from it. But to put somebody in jail for 60 days without a case, and this being the extent of the evidence that we have so far, does not justify whatsoever. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. May God bless you. And I will see you guys very, very soon. This will be open for the next 24 hours. Download it if you may. And I'll see you guys very soon.